celebration. I am so excited. Let me get that chat box up. All right. Cool. Got it up. I am super excited. We are celebrating 5 years with Arise to the Top. We have been teaching IBOs for 5 years how to build call centers successfully. And in that 5 year period, we become the number one IBO support network. So I am so excited to come to you guys today. All week long at 5 p.m. Either we'll be going live Monday, Thursday, and Friday, or we will be uploading videos at 5 p.m. in our IBO Success series. So, if you have any questions, throw them in the chat. I am watching Facebook, like 3 Facebook pages, and YouTube we're live on. So, if I'm a little slow on answering the questions, excuse me. And sometimes I can't see your name in the chat. So I might say, I don't know your name, but answer the question. So, anyways, on our first day for our 5 year celebration, I said, we're super excited. Thank you for all of your support these 5 years. We have gone from literally doing a live session of IBO training to a whole consulting firm in 5 years. So I'm just so excited. We have software, CRMs, and all kinds of things. Anyhow, we'll discuss more of that later. We are doing our annual official Arise IBO training this Thursday as well. That is that 1 to 2 hour session that y'all see on YouTube every year to get you ready for the next year. Everything we're doing this week, all the events are free to anyone that wants to be an IBO or that already is an IBO. So you can come with all your questions. Today, we will be talking about the pros and cons of being an IBO with Arise. I get the question all the time of what is the point of having an IBO with everything that Arise is doing for sole proprietors and all these other things. So we're going to tackle that today and just really go over and be truthful about whether or not it's worth it to be an IBO. I know a lot of you are wondering with the new laws coming out, well, that the Biden administration is trying to push through. I see a lot of people upset with Biden. This has actually, the last administration was trying to push some stuff through too. So this has been an ongoing topic and battle with the independent contractor situation. So we'll talk more about that as well. But y'all know I don't like to ramble, so let's hop in and get started. All right. Hey, Brittany. Hey, Joshua. Yes, no, we have not gotten started yet. We're starting now. So no worries. And if you have any questions, just put it in the chat and we'll answer that as we go along. All right. So let's go over being an IBO and what that is. So if you're an IBO on the Arise platform, you know that you have created an LLC or an corporation and started a business pretty much as a micro call center, right? You're partnering with Arise, providing agents to their clients. So you're a semi-staffing agency slash BPO, not handling the technology. You're the middleman, right? Of the middleman. So that is what being an IBO is. With the Rise, you have the option to be an IBO, which is actually being able to recruit agents onto your platform. You can come in as a sole proprietor, which is you just servicing, but not having a company recruiting anyone. Or you can come in under an IBO, which has a lot of perks to it. And we'll talk about that momentarily. So, my pros, or what I feel like the pros are of being an IBO, is number one, you're able to assist other people with finding jobs and building income, as well as being able to build income yourself, right? That's the main big part about being an IBO. You're providing a service. The work from home is not new at all. Some people say it's relatively new. It is not new. It's new to the world. Since COVID hit, everybody's a little more understanding. And so they're accepting of it. There's still, and I know you guys are like, it's hard to recruit, the world is small. There is still tons of people out there that are new and that are needing income. And if y'all are following the economy, if you do, world economics, you guys already know without me having to say, like, it's going down. There will be a lot more layoffs coming. There's a lot of things headed our way negatively, unfortunately, that will impact us financially, which means what you do will be more important than ever, right? So that's probably going to be the number one pro, is what you're able to provide to society. the next one I would say would be the entering into entrepreneurship. And I've said this in most of my videos. As an IBO, if you come in and set up your company, you get your foundation going, you build your business credit, you're getting your accounting stuff together, you're doing everything you would do in a regular, I say regular because this is regular, but in another type of industry, this is one of the best routes to open doors for you in entrepreneurship, getting your business going that leads to other opportunities, right? I have another YouTube video about other ways to monetize your IBO, but you can do staffing firms. There are a lot of different, you can become a call center and essentially providing the services. You can start VA services. There are so many different avenues that you could take being an IBO outside of Arise. But what Arise will force you to do is get your business set up so that you can do all those other things. So another pro with becoming an IBO, if you're wanting to enter into the business world, is all of the experience that you'll gain doing it coming this avenue, right? You can also do this part-time. So this is not a company where, you're starting a Chick-fil-A or something from scratch and you're having to do 80, 90 hours a week in it. Now, the more you put in it, of course, the more you'll get out of it. But you can come in and do this part-time and still be relatively successful depending on what your definition of success is, right? You can do 10, 20 hours a week and build your IBO, which is another pro of being an IBO. Up. Sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to ignore the chat. There we go. You want to get more? So I do see more information on starting staffing companies outside of Arise. So I am debating on if I'm going to do a class on that or not. I've been debating on that this whole month because I could put together a class on that, and I may, or I may do a live session. So stay tuned with me. I may do something in November for those of you that want to get started in starting a staffing company itself. It's a lot easier than you think it would be, especially if you go ahead and do your IBO and set everything up for it. Going into staffing, it's really just a pivot of who you're reaching out to and having your contracts and stuff in order, as well as the capability to do the staffing. You guys would want a class? All right. So I'll go, you know what? I'll put something together for November. I can't do it this month because you guys, we're launching the relaunch of Auto IBO. So, but I'll go ahead and put something together for staffing for November and post it in the group for those of you that want to go jump into the staffing realm. No problem. All right. So we've gone over some of the pros as far as being able to provide income and jobs for other people, jumping into entrepreneurship. Honestly, y'all, that's going to be the biggest pro, is just the kicker of getting started. And I say that, and you'll see why when we go to the cons. And I'm not saying that either the pros or cons, we'll talk about the grand finale at the end. All right, so those are my pros. It's the ability to provide jobs for other people. It's opening doors. Having this company can get you in other doors. You can still do this part-time and build. And the entry cost to starting this company is substantially less than most industries across the board. Now, coming into this business is just like going into any company, right? It takes time to build. And actually, being an IBO, you can be profitable a lot sooner. They say profitability in business hits around the 3rd-year mark. The first 2 years, you usually spending money. Then around that 3rd, 4th year, you really see your profits start kicking in. You can do that way sooner here. So that's another pro, is you can make money a lot sooner, and your overhead is not nearly as much as it would be in some industries. Now, we are going to hit some cons. And do I have a list? No, just joking, Arise. But I do have a list. So I think one of the biggest cons with being an IBO, and you guys will see it in the group, is that we are essentially the middleman of the middleman. So Arise is the middleman to these clients. They're the middleman between their customers and the client. They're in the middle, and we're in the middle of the middle, which means we're not really kept in the loop on anything. So being an IBO is getting harder and harder, and it's tough when we're not, kept in the loop. A lot of you guys are finding out information through the group, or they may bless us with an email here or there with a change. There's a lot of changes happening with Arise. A lot of them are good, but we know some of them are not, hence that assessment they keep changing and all sorts of things. Um, Getting in touch with them to do anything, and their, what do you call those, partner support people? It's a nightmare. That's another con that would all wrap up into we're the middleman of the middleman, and we're definitely treated as such as an IBO. So that would be a huge con. You don't have any control. So you have a company, right? This is your business, but you really don't have any control. So your agents can be terminated, and you find out when they find out. Speaking of termination, that's another con. This class situation, I can't say the name because I know I get in all kind of trouble, but they have a new client that is in the financial industry, and that itself was a disaster. Find out through clients, especially new ones, that it's very disastrous in the beginning, which then causes you to lose a lot of agents sometimes. So that's another con. Again, that all surrounds the fact that you control nothing. You're really just providing them bodies. The independent contractor, another con is the independent contractor laws are so unpredictable right now. Well, they're always been unpredictable. Trump administration was doing things as well, but we know right now Biden and them are proposing pretty much the same thing they've been trying to propose, honestly, for years. And it could negatively impact the business model that Arise has. And I say negatively in respect to what we do, but also what they do. I've seen questions about it in the group. If it passes through, they've been trying to get things through for years, and it's not really managed to get through, because I mean, it would ruffle a lot of feathers in the larger corporations. But a lot of weird things are happening that's never happened before. So it is a chance that the new laws would pass through. And do I think that would end the IBO program? Not necessarily. It most definitely will change it, and it will impact your company as an IBO. Now, how it impacts obviously will depend on how it changes and what laws are actually put into place. So I don't want to speculate and be like, oh, it's going to tank you. That's not necessarily true. It just depends on what happens and what laws. And we're keeping a very close eye on it because we have contractors in other avenues and industries as well. So as this stuff is happening, don't worry, we will go live about it and like keep you up to date. But that's another con is the business model that Arise has. It's very MLM-y, even though it's not MLM, right? I'm not saying it is because it's not, but it appears to be that way. So it's harder to do business with other companies. A lot of people do not like this model. Banks, job boards, stuff like that. So it does make it a little bit more complex to navigate as an IBO, but not impossible. All right, so that's one thing you want to keep in mind when you're jumping into this are the laws that are coming into play. The other probably big con outside of the classes, the fact that you're the middleman and have no control, and the independent contractor laws that might be coming are the fact that there are a ton of system issues, right? We all have been there. We've all wanted to throw our computers out. The good thing is this is not just Arise. I have worked with either in a consulting magnitude or worked for over 35 different work from home companies. And system issues are across the board, y'all. So I know it really sucks that the ASD and a few other things really drive your agents out of your company, but the system issues are happening everywhere. It's just like a work from home thing. The background check and affidavits are dropping your people like flies. Yes, that'll happen. The new assessment and inability to really see the clients anymore, that's probably impactful. And those are all things to think about, right? When you're becoming an IBO. I'm not going to lie to you and say this is like the best time in the world to become an IBO. It's definitely not, but it's also not the worst time. All of these cons outside of the law situation, and we have to wait for that, can be worked around. You will lose agents though, right? You're gonna have agents drop out flies, but it's power in numbers. So you're gonna lose agents, which means you need to constantly be bringing agents in. You're a staffing agency. Okay, that's that. I don't even know why they call us IBOs. It's just call us micro staffing agencies. But that leads you to say, should you spend your time and money becoming an IBO with Arise? My personal opinion, if I had to come into Arise right now, is yes, I would still do it. Okay. I know I just gave you those cons and probably was more than my pros list, but I'm telling you guys, I'm in year 5 with the consulting firm. I'm in year like 8 or 9, maybe 10 as an IBO now. And the doors that this has opened, forget Arise itself. All right. Obviously, you're going to build up and work with Arise. But I tell you guys all the time, let them be a partner to your company. Do not make them your company. If you're coming in as an IBO and Arise is all you're ever going to do, bad time. Don't come in. No time for that. But if you're coming in as an IBO with the goal of getting in, building your company, mastering this, and then moving on, perfect time. Great time to jump in. You're going to get to see the horrible sides of business jumping into this, but you'll also see the really good sides of business. And when I tell you, like I said, I told you guys, year 5, I started year 1 with the just literally teaching people how to build their IBOs. We have a software development division, marketing division. We are a one-stop consulting firm. We work with BPOs all across the world now. We consult for them with KPIs, process implementation. We do a ton of stuff. We have a staffing agency, a virtual assistant service business. All of this literally spun from being an IBO, which all came from me just not wanting to go back to Aflac corporate. Nothing was wrong with Aflac. I loved Aflac, but I didn't want to go back because I had my son. He was premature and I didn't want to put him in daycare, literally. And 5 years later, literally working with companies across the world. So, is becoming an IBO worth the money and time to spend? Yes. If your goal is pivoting out. If your goal is solely to come in and only work with the Rise, I would just really think about the pros and cons we just went over. I probably wouldn't do it if that was my only goal in 2022. I would have done it back then because that was my only goal. I never imagined it opening doors the way it did, but now I probably wouldn't. If you're hopping in because you want a solid business, it's definitely a great place to start. All right. What questions do you guys have? We are going to do some Q&A, and you guys can really ask. So all week long, we'll be doing this. I'm going live Thursday and Friday again. You can really ask any IBO questions you have. It doesn't have to be related to the topic that we have that day. I see you guys asking a ton of questions in the group. So this is the time to ask and get an answer live. Can we get emails that something is wrong before you drop someone, please? From Arise. You're not gonna get emails ahead of time on anything. Like even being in Premiere, y'all. Premiere is the middleman of the middleman, and we're treated as such too. Nobody's getting information unless you know somebody inside, honestly, on things that are happening before they're happening. And even if you pay attention internally, there's a lot of shifts happening there too. There's a lot of new faces coming in on C levels and just C level down. A lot of new people coming in. So shifts are happening internally as well as in the IBO world. Oh, no problem. Look, this is a space where we can be honest. Just don't say client names or anything like slanderous, okay? Not on the live. You have to wait till we go like on our private Zooms for that. All right. The SOW, and how do we get one for the agent? So the SOW that Arise gives you to sign is in the portal. And it should be, I think, under your documents tab. I'm thinking, is that y'all's portal or my portal? I think it should be under your documents tab, right? But the SOW that you give your agents, which you should be giving your agents your own SOW, because the one you sign is between your company and Arise. You need to have one signed between your company and your agent. You can either buy one from Carrie Cato. We have them in our document packs, or you can copy the one Arise has and modify it for your business. If you do that and you have Legal Shield, just send it through there to let them verify it's legally good. More information. Yes. So I'm going to commit you guys to doing a class on building a staffing agency in November. So I will go ahead, because I've been teetering on whether or not you guys would want one or not. So since you guys are saying yes, then we will do one in November towards the end. Or as an IB, are you compensated for agents you bring in, or just taking the fee per agent? So Nona, that will depend on how you have your company set up, but you can get compensation on the referral level through Arise. So, Arise usually has their referral programs, and they're doing better now about paying you for that, because before it was real questionable whether you really got your pay or not on the referrals. They're doing a lot better on that. So you can get it that way. If your agent signs up, uses your information, your CSP ID, and they start certification and servicing, you'll get Arise's referral incentive. You can also then get paid off of the fee that you charge them per pay period, which, whether it's percent, flat fee, however you do it, you take the off the top of the dollar. You can make money that way as well. Those are like the two base ways, just solely doing it through Arise and through your fee of compensation. Yes. Of course, we're going to do more than Arise as an option. We're trying to get you pivoted out. Just partnered. I won't say pivoted out all the way. Arise is a really great opportunity. Like, outside of their tech issues, background checks kicking everybody out, the new assessments they keep giving out, they really are a great opportunity. You don't find a lot of other opportunities that will let you create your own schedule the way you do with Arise, that they're pretty much guaranteeing you money to make as long as you pass certification. Now, back when they first started, there was a lot less companies doing that. Now, of course, we know NextRep, Omni Interactions, and several others are setting up these type of models, just without the IBO program. But Arise still does provide great value, and I would recommend them. I mean, obviously, I'm still an IBO. I do recommend them out. A staffing agency with lots of options, not just work from home. That's definitely possible. You'll need to think about what market you want to be in. And I'm just scrolling you guys to make sure I'm getting the questions. Yeah, no, Arise in these emails before dropping. Now, if you're losing agents in certification and not really in the loop, your biggest thing is, and I tell IBOs this all the time, when your agents are enrolled and your certifier, I guess you call it, instructor, messages you that welcome, message them back, introduce yourself, your IBO, tell them who your agent is. It's almost like going to school with your child and talking to the teacher. Like, do that to get to know the instructors, because they will then usually send you like a quick, hey, such and such is doing this way, or maybe they're about to get dropped. It gives you more insight, a little more leverage. The companies that I named that are doing flexible scheduling, NextRep does it, Omni Interactions does. I think Alorica has some. There's about 7 or 8 of them now. Okay, let's see. I mean, there's more than that, but just off the top of my head, I was counting. Keeping agents quit because of tech issues. So yes, that is going to be one of your biggest hurdles. The tech issues that do transpire, and the thing is with the tech issues is they're not paid when they go to tech support, which is because they're a contractor. So it is hard to keep telling someone that they have to keep going to tech support unpaid and not getting paid to work their shifts. Now, the thing with the tech issues, and Daniel Held with Work at Home Equipment Solutions is really good with this stuff, is seeing what tech issues are they having. Is this computer related? Is it system related to where it's Arise? A lot of times it's computer related and stuff that can be worked through. And it's simple things like they're, especially if they're like on the ASD, they're leaving all their stuff plugged in and not shutting down at night or shutting down after shifts and then trying to come back in. It may be they need to clear their cache cookies, all that good stuff. So I would go a step further of finding out what those issues are, because it may be something that you could create a pamphlet or something real quick for them. So Nona, there is another platform called ACD that's in the class that has the IBO type of setup, but there Arise is pretty much the only one currently with the setup the way it is. What you would do to expand out is to go in more of a staffing agency magnitude to these other companies to offer them your services. But a readily set up IBO program, Arise and ACD will be the two that really kind of give you that. Yes, Working Solutions has that flex scheduling stuff too. The best way to recruit agents. So I always say there's not any one best way. It really depends on what's your market and those sorts of things. Social media is a great way to get agents, and I've said it several times. I essentially built my whole company through Facebook initially. Now it's not so much that. We do a lot in the community now too. So don't sleep on going out and talking to people at the grocery stores, talking to the people you deliver for, those sorts of things. Grassroots marketing, job boards. You can get like people talk about Indeed and stuff. You'll get like 1,000 leads literally from there. A lot of them are not going to necessarily be good leads, and then you'll end up getting shut down once they find out you're affiliated with the Rise. There's a few ways around it, but once they find that out, they don't really support your ads. LegalZoom better to use to set up your LLC, or should you do a C Corp? So that will depend on your financial situation, how you should set up. You could use LegalZoom depending on your state. You can do it yourself. We also do business formations with the Rise to the Top. The list of work from home jobs, I have that list somewhere. I might be a Masterclass. I'll see. Send me a message, and I'll see if I can get that list to you. Or I might, you know what? Because I know everybody's probably going to message. I'll post it in the group. Somebody remind me in the Facebook page to post that list. A physical call center with the Rise, yes. And it's because you're the middleman of the middleman. So it's going to be a lot more complex because you have no control over what's going on, right? So your agent could be coming into work in your physical call center and literally have been terminated that day, and you both find out at the same time. Having an actual location just for a Rise, I wouldn't recommend. If you have a call center location and you're doing other things with it outside of Arise too, then yeah, because we do that, where they can come into our office and work, or they can work from home. But it's not a physical, we're setting up a call center with Arise. They're too unpredictable for that. And you're not, and I mean unpredictable where you're not privy to the information. You can't really operate that way. Miss White, for the setup, you can send me a message, or you can go to arisebusinessconsulting.com and do the contact form, or you can send me a Facebook message. How do you know how to help agents if you never service? So that's getting more complex these days. it's going to be harder for you. It's just undoubtedly it's going to be harder for you to help your agents if you haven't serviced. It is possible, but you'll need to either A, service, B, you're paying to be in a IBO class that's going to give you the information you need. And I have them, several people now. I mean, everybody has an IBO class now, but or C, you are partnered up or very friendly with other IBOs who have service. You guys know you can ask questions in the group. The group is getting a lot bigger, and I thank you guys. We have been so respectful this year. Thank y'all, because last year it was going down in some of the in my group and other groups. So definitely, you can ask in the group, but not servicing these days or never servicing is going to make it harder for you. What do you do when partner support does not help? Are they ever helpful? No, I'm just playing. They're very helpful. So if partner support is not helpful, you go into another browser and just go into the Arise portal and ask the same exact question with someone else. Or you ask to speak, tell them you want your ticket escalated. But here's the catch. They're going to tell you they can't escalate it most of the time. I went back and forth for 20 minutes with partner support last week, demanding my ticket to be escalated. And finally, 20 minutes later, they figured out they could do it. So you have to be persistent. Like I said, this is not an easy journey as an IBO, especially not now. But this is why I'm telling you guys, it's really good to break into entrepreneurship, because you're going to see the highs and the lows and the frustration. And you get the experience of dealing with people, right? Because not only are you a staffing agency, but you're management too. And you get to see how people are. It'll help you in your upcoming businesses. You don't have to service long term, but I would definitely go through the process. And for those of you that, are balling on a budget, as we've all been starting out, go through that process and film what you're doing. Like, you can create your templates, your pamphlets. If you don't have the money to spend on the mentorships, the pamphlets, the classes, it's okay. You just know you'll be doing a lot more work. You'll be spending a lot more time. So download the opportunity announcements, record the processes as you're going through them. Once you start having issues, the questions you have, document those on a sheet. There's your FAQ there. Everybody else is going to have the same questions you have. Ava has a lot of free information in there, right? So there's a lot of ways that you can get the knowledge you need, even if you don't have the money. Like I said, if you have the money, it saves the time, right? Because you don't have to go doing all that. But if you don't have the money, then you're going to need to create the time. You could still be just as successful. There were no IBO programs and stuff like this when I became an IBO. That's why I created it, because I spent hours upon hours, weeks and months, years figuring this stuff out. Do I recommend for payroll? Who do I recommend? So there's a few people that you could go with. I guess that more contractor-ish model, Square. I think Gusto's changing their fee program now from what I saw. So maybe they're a little bit more expensive. If you're just starting out as an IBO, ACH transfer is not horrible and it's cheaper, but you can get on Square for $5 a contract and you only pay if you pay them, and it handles your 1099s and stuff. I use Intuit IOP, which I think they're called something else now, but they're through QuickBooks. But they are like $45 a month, plus I think $6 per agent and some other stuff. But I use them because you could do next day pay with them, and then they handle 1099s and all that stuff. If you're just starting out, Square will be fine. Just know it's a 4-day pay before they pay. I think Gusto's 4 days, and now they have 2-day accounts too. So when you're picking out your payroll or who you're going to use, and there's a few others. I have the list. We're actually going to do, I'm going to do a video on it this week and put it up. It's one of the 5 o'clock uploads that happens this week. So you'll get the list for that this week. I can't remember all of them, but there's like 5 of them that I found that were pretty cost efficient and all of that. But you want to look at who you're using to determine your pay dates. If you're not going to pay on the 1st or the 15th, because some of them, like I say, take 4 days for processing. Some of them take 1 to 2, that sort of deal. Do I recommend paying the next day after Arise pays? No, I never recommend that. Well, for one, you have a business bank account. You want to let your money sit for a little while, right? It's helping you build your daily balance up. So if you're ever going for funding or for loans, it looks like you've made some money. You have 10 agents and you're getting, 10 agents, you probably get between $2,000 to $5,000 deposits, maybe 8. Let that sit in there for a few days, help build your daily balance. So if you go for funding the banks, if you're going to fintech funds, trying to do a divvy account, there's a ton of people that you can go to for funding nowadays. But it looks like you actually have money and make money. So I never recommend sending money out of an account the day it comes in. Let it fester for a little. I am not sure what you are asking. This is mentorship expensive? Or do you mean IBO mentorship? I guess it depends on who you go to. It could be. So I don't do IBO one-on-one mentorship. Like I used to have the program that I did every 6 months. We would take so many IBOs to do it. I don't do that now, only because I do a lot more on consulting with BPO centers now. But I do have the classes and stuff. I think there are a few others that might do IBO mentorship. You just want to be careful who you're spending your money with, right? A lot of people have come through and taken my course and just like are regurgitating what they learned to you guys as like IBO masters now, but they don't even have 5 to 10 agents in their company. There's a lot of that going around, you guys, where there's people selling courses and doing all kind of stuff that have never had more than 10 to 15 agents. You just have to really watch who you're spending your money with, get reviews. How long have you been around? What are you teaching? That sort of thing. I can only stand on what we teach. Like I said, one thing over the last 5 years is we didn't get to number one as an IBO, the number one IBO support network for no reason. So I can only stand on what we do. I can't stand on others. Who do I recommend for mentorship? I have stopped giving recommendations in the IBO community because the few people that I thought were good turned out that I was coming back with complaints from other people. So I only stand on what we do, honestly. So I can only control what we output. But I do know there are other groups around. Just kind of watch their free stuff and see what's happening with that. Like I said, and get reviews. If you have a question about anyone or something that you're going to spend your money on with anyone else, you can shoot me an inbox. And those that have done it before, I'm going to give you the honest answer on that person, whether it's yes or no, from what I know. Any other IBO questions for today? Oh, yeah, I do want to ask you guys. So if you could put in chat what topics you would like covered in our IBO success series this week, then I can make videos to kind of correlate with that to help you better in your IBO. I already have the topics that I think are good, but they may not be the topics you think are good. So I want to know what you guys want to learn about this week so I can do the videos around those specifically. On what's stopping you, or what do you feel like is hindering you the most in the IBO world from getting to where you're trying to get with your goals? Is this group the one that has auto IBO? Yes, that would be me. We're actually doing a live demo this Saturday at 11 a.m. on auto IBO. It's our CRM system for Arise. Initially, it was built just for Arise IBOs, but it is now multi-client. So you can use this for Arise, for ACD, for any partnerships that you build. We're building it for more BPO and not just Arise now. So, but we'll be doing a demo this Saturday at 11. The link will be posted if you guys want to check it out. But yes, that is us, Auto IBO. All right, so timeline to launch. All right, I can kind of give you that rundown really quick. So timeline for launching will depend on, are you paying people to do your stuff? Are you doing it? And how, like, what kind of knowledge do you have when it comes to that? Ideally, if you're doing everything yourself and you are researching and doing all of that type of stuff, you can actually, I would say 30 to 60 days realistically getting everything set up if you have other obligations outside of this. Now, if this is all you're doing, I mean, we've gotten IBOs up and going in like 2 weeks. So it really just depends on what your expertise is, and are you doing everything or are you getting help, that sort of deal. But we do have our 30-day challenge that is starting November 1st, and we had 200 IBOs in the last challenge this summer. And this is going to be for getting launched and going. And it's free to all IBOs. So that starts November 1st. And if you're just starting as an IBO, launching or trying to figure it out, you can hop in that challenge and you'll get a bunch of resources and stuff in there too. Getting squatting agents engaged. That's a good one. Okay. Uh-oh. Did I hit it? The company for equipment for work at home. I think you're talking about Daniel Held, and that would be Work at Home Equipment Solutions. I usually have Daniel talking during our thing, and I'll see if he wants to hop in one day this week or throw a video up. But I'll put it in the chat. Work at Home Equipment Solutions, and he has an affiliate program where you can make money as well when your agents make purchases, and he does like all kind of financing. He's really good. He's in the group though, and his name is Daniel Held. He's always posting. So if you look in the group and see him, it's his group, his company. All right, let's see. Yes, that's 11 a.m. Eastern, the live demo this Saturday for Auto IBO. I'm frozen. All right, somebody else put it in there too. On how to hire and pay others to help you out. Yes, look, Angie, I actually, on November the 1st, we have a virtual assistant for IBOs course kicking off for you guys. And we have virtual assistants for IBOs that we train specifically for IBOs. But if you want to go out and find your own, we have a course kicking off November the 1st that has training in there, documents, and all kind of stuff. So if you want to use a virtual assistant, we have a course that you can get for your virtual assistant that will train them, that you can use to train them. Because yes, it is so much easier with help. Hi, Davita. Yes, Daniel is super awesome, very helpful. Company is great. All right, so I see these topics coming up. Any other topics? Since it's Monday, I can do topics so I can record throughout the week. How do I feel about the direction Arise is going in? Well, I feel great, honestly, because Arise is not my soul. Arise is not my moneymaker, my breadwinner, right? So they're a partner with me. So for me, if Arise, regardless of what direction they go in, we're already established. But as a new IBO coming in for you guys, I would not be super concerned about just losing your business. Number one, you can partner with ACD2, but I would not yet until like more information on the laws and stuff start coming out, and we're around election time. I don't think they're going to rock the boat too much because we're around election time. So I wouldn't be super worried about it right now. Just know that you're coming into something that is constantly changing. It's been a little bit shaky, but you can still come in, build your foundation, get your company going, your business credit going, and pivot out. So what I'm telling you is don't come in and just only expect to make a lot of money with the ride, off a rise. Come in with an end goal in mind that involves you doing more than a rise if you choose to come in. Passing your business down to your children or grandchildren, it is possible. If you have an LLC, look into that, because once you pass away, depending on how your stuff is structured, that may also close down the business. But this is what I say about the kids, and I'm sorry I dropped something because I have like a bunch of them running around. Build your business, but not necessarily with the expectation of them taking over. Like most of our kids are gonna, squander the money we leave them, sell the houses we've given them. Build it and get them involved in it, right? So that they can have the knowledge of being a business owner. So if they don't want to deal with your business, it's okay. They can either sell it and get money or whatever, but they have business stored in them. But don't necessarily build your business with, oh, I'm going to pass this down to them in mind. They may or may not want it. Business credit is getting set up. Good. You guys know I'm a big advocate for business credit. Right now, money lending is getting tight. So you got to make sure those scores are right. Set up everything as a trust so it can get passed down. So you can, and you can set the verbiage up in your LLC that way. You can put the stuff in a trust. I don't handle that type of thing. I have an attorney that does that, but I know that there are ways to do it. I think I missed. You're a blogger. Hey, Davita. In partnerships, earning money from affiliate marketing. How do you like the QA call center? And Davita, message me because we have an affiliate program coming with Auto IBO too. Yes, it is a great start. Like I said, so if you have kids, right, your smaller kids can do the marketing component. They can come into the business. My kids, I don't have the picture up now. Like when I had the delivery service, they were door to door putting the little things on people's doors, marketing. And I mean smaller, like they can do 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. They can wear the shirts to the school, that kind of thing. That's how you kind of get them in the business. You get them excited about marketing the company, kind of what it does. You pay them a couple dollars, depending on their age range. If they're younger, probably Robux gift cards will suffice, that sort of thing. All right. As they're getting older, 10, 11, 12, they can do other things in the business. They can read emails. They can, they're all in TikTok and all of that. They can do social media management. They can respond. I would probably say more high school could do your responding to your agents and emails. They could do lead searches. If you use LinkedIn and you're building outside of Arise, you can train your high schools to search for leads in LinkedIn, and it's not a hard process. So get them involved in your business. Not saying not to leave the company to them if that's what you want to do. I'm not here to tell anyone how to run their life, but I'm telling you to give them the knowledge of business with your company just in case they don't want to continue what you're doing. All right, y'all, we are hitting that 50-minute mark. And I said 25. You guys know I can't stop talking. Do we have any other final questions? Tomorrow at 5, we will be posting. I'll be posting another video for the IBO Success Series. I'm going to look at the suggestions you guys have. It's probably going to be a video on one of the topics that you posted in chat. Watch out the Facebook page. We have the games going on all week. Oh, I'm going to have to post it because I did not get the winner. I'm going to announce the winners on Facebook and Instagram. If you have not, I'll give you guys till 6:30 to go on the page, and I want to know your why of why you became an IBO. I want to know your name, your IBO name, and why you decided to become an IBO. And you could just find the post from today on any of the platforms. It's posted on all of them, and put your why, and you'll automatically be entered into today's drawing. All right, y'all. Well, since you don't have any more questions, he hasn't contacted you yet. Davida, are you talking about Daniel? If you are, hit him up on Facebook. He's pretty responsive there for the most part. I think he might have been out last week, but hit him on Facebook, and he's pretty responsive. All right, my IBOs. I will see you guys. So I'll be live again Thursday. We're actually going to do the Arise IBO training, the full series. That, like I said, most of you guys are here via YouTube for those videos. We're doing the 2023 version this Thursday. So every day at 5, videos will be going up to answer the questions that you guys put in chat, as well as the ones that I thought would be helpful for you. And then in the email, we're emailing out resources and stuff like that. So if you're in the email list, look out for that. If you're not on the email list, you want to hop on it. We do also email grant lists out every month, as well as work from home jobs that are available every month to those of you on the email list as well. So I'll see y'all tomorrow at 5. And in social media land, I hope y'all have a great night. Let's get to work building these IBOs and dealing with partner support. No, just joking. Let's get to work building these IBOs. See y'all next time.